Hello, welcome to VentureCat 2024. My name is Charlotte Oxney. I'm founder and CEO of Cue the Curves. Some of you may remember me from VentureCat 2023 when I took home the grand prize for Cue the Curves, which is a social shopping app made specifically for plus-size women.
And my name is Ben Preston. I am the co-founder and COO of GearFlow. We are the only platform eliminating all the parts procurement problems all of you are very familiar with in construction. I'm also honored to be here today co-emceeing this special event with the one and only famous Charlotte. For me, it's especially exciting because when I won the grand prize, it was VentureCat 2020, which happened to be during COVID. So therefore, I presented my pitch from inside of a very stuffy closet at my in-laws' cabin up in northern Minnesota. After heroically overcoming the lack of airflow, the lack of cell reception actually made it where they were trying to get a live reaction of me answering the phone over the live stream, which famously went straight to voicemail. But now, 4 years later, it's amazing to not only be up here to share the stage with Charlotte, but also I get to share this moment with 5 members of the GearFlow team, as well as my wife is in attendance as well.
Being a part of VentureCat has been an amazing journey for the both of us. From pitching our ventures to winning the grand prize, it's truly been a transformative experience. And a lot has happened with Cue the Curves over the last year. Since I pitched on this stage a year ago, I've been featured on the national news, launched over 300 brands on the platform, and launched many more features to help plus-size women find clothing that makes them feel like the most confident version of themselves.
GearFlow has grown a lot since my VentureCat experience as well, with the Northwestern community supporting us along the way in more ways than I can count. We're now a small mighty team of 15, facilitating millions and millions of dollars of parts transactions through our platform, and we have a clear path to really change how maintenance gets done in construction.
Both of our experiences speak volumes to the impact VentureCat has within Northwestern's student entrepreneur community.
100%. Charlotte and I, believe it or not, are 2 of the 200+ student startups that have participated in VentureCat since 2014. And more than 50% of these companies are still active today. They've raised a combined $1.3 billion and have actually combined to create 2,600 jobs.
Now that deserves a round of applause. And on that note, let's also take a moment to acknowledge this year's 25 amazing semifinalists who were selected to compete across the competition's 5 industry tracks: business products and services, consumer products and services, energy and sustainability, life sciences and medical innovations, and social impact.
Every one of the 2024 semifinalists should feel incredibly proud of their efforts, especially considering that this year was a record number of applications. The semifinalists selected from the super competitive pool of applicants truly do exemplify the spirit of entrepreneurship that thrives here at the Northwestern community.
And let's not forget the amazing support these semifinalists have received along the way. For the last 4 weeks, the 25 semifinalists have been participating in the VentureCat Pitch Prep program.
And for those of you who have not had the good fortune of participating in this program, a ton of work has gone into these pitches behind the scenes. So each team has actually received one-on-one coaching and guidance from an incredible network of industry experts, founders, and investors to provide each entrepreneur with the tools and support that they need to be successful. For me personally, that experience really set us up for success in our fundraising journey, including leaving us with a beautiful pitch deck that I am convinced is still hanging on the wall of our advisor, Jeff Eschbach, at his home.
Absolutely. The resources offered through VentureCat truly help participants take their startups to the next level. So on behalf of the program, we'd like to thank all of the volunteers who served as application reviewers, pitch coaches, mentors, and judges this year, and who make VentureCat such a valuable experience for the student entrepreneurship community.
We'd also like to take a moment to really recognize and thank all of VentureCat's donors and sponsors. That generous support is really what makes VentureCat possible.
Yes, a big thank you to the VentureCat donors, the Levy Institute for Entrepreneurial Practice, the Bernstein family, and Alicia McGinnis, as well as sponsorship from Exelon and Microsoft for Startups Founders Hub. In addition to the resources we've already mentioned, all 25 semifinalists have also been given an annual membership to Microsoft for Startups, which offers AI resources for all skill levels from beginner to expert. For any founders tuning in, we highly recommend you check it out.
And all of you are wondering, so for those of you who are interested in making an individual contribution to the program, you can do so by scanning this QR code here. Individual gifts collected through this process will support future VentureCat participants, like all the amazing student founders that are competing here today.
And now, without further ado, let's get ready to inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs as they take the stage live to showcase their ventures.
And as a reminder, you all play a big part in this, because after all 6 pitches, whether you're here with us in person or you are somewhere virtually watching this on the live stream, you will all get to vote for the audience favorite, an award that is presented after all teams have presented. So without further ado, my personal favorite track, the B2B track. First up from the business products and services track is Juxa.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is John Ferrara, and I'm the founder of Juxa, a healthcare logistics company that optimizes intra-hospital patient transport, unlocking millions of dollars a year in annual revenue for hospitals across the country. I grew up the son of 2 doctors in the US military. My dad was the chief medical officer of the United States Navy. I know this space well. I grew up in hospitals, so much so, in fact, that when I was a kid, I'd often stay up late waiting for my parents to come home from a long day of surgeries, cases, and procedures, only because they had been delayed by slow patient transport, not delivering that patient to them on time. It's a problem that I know well, my parents know well, and the doctors and nurses around the country can attest to, and one that we're passionate about solving here at Juxa. Right now, moving patients within a hospital is an absolute mess. On average, it can take over 60 minutes from the time a nurse requests transport to the time that patient is actually dropped off at their surgery site. That's what intra-hospital patient transport means and what Juxa is really trying to alleviate. The reason that transport moves so slowly is largely because there's a lack of accountability and communication through transporters and nurses. There's no gauge on how fast a transporter is moving, if they're moving at all, if they've gotten lost in a big hospital, or even if they've taken the wrong patient, which happens more than you probably think. On the other end of that, nurses have no gauge of where that patient or where that transporter is, and they have no idea if they have time to go to the bathroom, get lunch, or most importantly, take care of another patient, again, increasing the productivity of a hospital. So behind me, what you see is a workflow of how patient transport typically works in a hospital setting. It involves one team often on the operations side requesting a patient down for surgery. They get involved in a game of phone tag with other nurses and receptionists to check if that patient is ready to be moved. At which point, once that's approved, it gets pinged to the patient transport supervisor, who then delegates that task, to a transporter on their team. But at that point, it's anybody's best guess whether or not they even show up. So obviously, slow transport kills hospital margins. On average in the US alone, operating rooms can cost between $350 to $500 per 6 minutes of use, with MRIs costing $3,000 to $10,000 a piece, with other advanced imaging and cath labs going at similar rates. What this leads to is a loss of millions of dollars in annual revenue for hospitals around the country. For instance, studies have found that slow patient transport at mid to large-sized hospitals leads to up to 9,000 hours in annual delay in a hospital setting. And for large systems that do billions of dollars in revenue every year, that can equate to up to $75 million a year in lost revenue. So Juxa really takes what is a weakness in terms of patient transport and turns that into a strength. We do this through 3 key pillars. The first of which is increasing valuable productivity by 1 to 5%, and that's a figure we arrived to having spoken with admin across the country at major hospitals. We enable safer experiences, integrating with Epic, Cerner, and other major MHRs, and also using our own proprietary geospatial technology to make sure the right patients are taken every time, and that in the event of a patient emergency in transit, that patient is always accounted for and cared for by doctors quickly. This culminates in actionable analytics that equip admin to make really powerful choices, right? So as simple as staff productivity, telling them which transporters are moving the fastest and taking the most requests, scaling all the way up to first of its kind proprietary analytics in the sense of helping the infection control team use our geospatial data to see where patients have been and then be able to decontaminate faster and get rooms back into productivity quicker. So Juxa really kind of works like this. It's a lot like Uber. The nurses and the transporters have the Juxa mobile app on their phones. The nurse is able to pull out the Juxa app, input the patient details, including pickup and drop-off locations, and we algorithmically will ping the best transporter for the job. When they accept that transport, they're actually greeted with a kind of live 3D rendered, live navigable kind of Apple Maps-esque environment where they get live pathing, live tracking, and real-time ETAs directly to where the patient is. This is only made possible through our proprietary machine learning program that actually takes 2D hospital floor plans and converts those into 3D rendered real-time navigable maps like you see above. Meanwhile, the nurses are able to track where that transporter is, have an ETA of when they're going to come, communicate with them, and make sure they're moving along quick enough. Healthcare logistics is obviously a massive opportunity, right? There's over 6,000 hospitals in the US alone, each on average doing over $200 million a year in net patient revenue. So with even an increase of 3% throughput across the board, that's a $36 billion addition to hospitals' bottom lines annually. This obviously monetizes really well for Juxa in the form of ROI-based contracts, right? So we sell to CIOs, CNOs, and CFOs of major hospitals throughout the US, and that software gets distributed mostly to nurses and transporters. Healthcare is a $4 trillion industry, one of the biggest in the US, and that makes us confident that in an untapped patient transport space, Juxa is a multi-billion-dollar opportunity. So in terms of what else is out there, right? Phone calls exist, as I mentioned, which are very low fidelity, and low touch point dashboards offered by Epic and smaller companies really just digitize the solution offered by phones, which are low touch point, low communicative, and don't really help move transport along quickly. Meanwhile, Juxa, through an intuitive interface, advanced analytics, and proprietary machine learning programs, create a really efficient transport process that's unlike anything that's ever been seen in the space. So we just closed a $500,000 pre-seed round led by institutional investors, and we're going to use that money plus the money from VentureCat to help launch our pilots across the country, develop better analytics and machine learning algorithms to even make transport even faster, and cover our living expenses while we build Juxa full time. We also hope to maybe bring on a few more team members as we continue to expand. We've worked with over 50 clinicians around the country, as well as nurses, transporters, and admin, and they all say the same thing. Transport is a massive issue and one that Juxa is well positioned to solve. That's been manifested now that we're working with Northwestern Medicine to deploy a pilot, hopefully by July, and Cleveland Clinic, which is the 5th biggest hospital in the US, is also interested in hoping to come on after that. We're really confident that Juxa is the transport solution that's going to shape the future, right? We're planning to onboard 3 to 5 pilots by the end of the year, turn those into paying customers soon after that, and expand to broader healthcare systems within 2025. In 2 years, we think we can really become the de facto transport solution across the United States, given the lack of satisfaction among current solutions. And even beyond that, 5 to 10 years down the road, we think Juxa is really well equipped to become a broader healthcare logistics platform, almost like the operating system of a hospital, right? We think we can use our advanced analytics and ML to power advanced staff scheduling, resource ordering and optimization, and of course, patient transport. Our team is all technical, all committed, and where most of us come from backgrounds where our parents are either doctors, admin, or nurses. We're super passionate about the issue, super excited about what Juxa has ahead of itself, and really grateful to be here. Thank you so much.
Next up, from the Consumer Products and Services track, is TurboLearn AI.
I'm Rudy, and I'm the co-founder of TurboLearn. I'm a freshman at Northwestern, and I'd say that I've had a really eventful first year. I launched my software tool 4 months ago, and have since then grown to 155,000 users. But before I dive into product and traction, I think y'all would benefit from hearing the founding story. So this right here is a picture of me and my best friend, Sarthik. And something that I want you guys to know about Sarthik is that he's very academically driven. He got straight A's in high school and is currently a freshman at Duke. But life inside of the classroom for Sarthik wasn't always perfect. He has ADHD, which means that like 93 million students with learning disabilities, Sarthik struggled to find the right balance between listening to the professor and taking notes. Because he had a learning disability, it was hard for him to multitask in a high-stimulus environment like a classroom. So for the longest time, he just didn't take notes altogether. But Sarthik, being clever, came up with an interesting solution at the time. Basically, he would just walk into every classroom and record the lecture using voice memos. He would then upload the voice recording onto a platform called Otter to generate a transcript. He would then copy-paste the transcript from Otter onto DaVinci, an earlier version of ChatGPT, and ask it to generate a study guide. He would then take the study guide, put it onto Notion, and use it to review for his test. Then finally, maybe the night before, he'd go over to Quizlet and make a flashcard set to engage in active recall. This is a lot, and there are 2 problems here. Number 1, not everyone is as technical or a nerd as Sarthik. And number 2, even for him, it took like 30 minutes each time. So earlier this summer, he was telling me about this process, and the first thing that came to my mind was like, damn, these notes are very, very good, and they're honestly better than mine, even though I don't have ADHD. So then I thought, okay, why don't we take this entire process, streamline it into a singular workflow, and build a software application to solve the problem? And that's how we came up with TurboLearn. So to use our platform, all you gotta do is walk into class and hit record. We then use AI to create for you notes, flashcards, and quiz questions. What's really interesting about our notes, as you can see right here, is that they include tables, diagrams, graphs, and equations, making the whole learning journey a lot more interesting for the user. The reason we're able to do this at virtually no cost is because we fine-tune open source LLMs rather than relying on ChatGPT like a lot of the competitors. What this means is, again, that our notes are aesthetic and engaging and not just text-based like most of the industry. Throughout this entire process, I think the part that I've been the most proud of is that we've actually been able to make an impact on our target demographic. We've received hundreds of positive comments, emails, and reviews from students with learning disabilities raving about how much our product has improved their studying experience. And what's also interesting is that we've expanded not only to students with learning disabilities, but to all students in general, getting 155,000 users in just 4.5 months. And this growth has been entirely bootstrapped with no funding whatsoever. On top of that, we've also been able to monetize. We have 2 plans at $13 and $9 a month. And by offering these pricing plans, we've grown to a $401,000 ARR and a $34,000 MRR. On top of this, we've also expanded beyond consumer to selling to universities and schools. We've closed 2 institutional sales worth 5 figures. And what's really interesting about these institutional sales is this right here. This is a job posting from a college literally hiring someone to go into lecture halls and take notes so that they can pass these notes out to students with learning disabilities. TurboLearn comes in here and can easily revolutionize, this process at thousands of colleges around the nation with 5 to 6 figure contracts. And I think that's where the real potential is for us. So I know that there are a lot of edtech tools popping up right now. I'm sure you students in here see it on your Instagram Reels and TikTok. So why are we going to be the ones that are going to be worth $100 million within the next 2 to 3 years? Well, for starters, me and my co-founder are both technical and have built and monetized 2 apps already. What this means is that we have the ability to be responsive to customer feedback and build and ship quickly. Just this summer alone, we're going to build a mobile app, teacher portal, and integrate with a lot of softwares to build a whole ecosystem around the process. On top of this, we also have some pretty solid marketing and distribution. We've grown a company account completely organically to 65,000 followers, and this is what led to our first couple thousand users. We then took the profits from this and invested heavily into influencer marketing. And I think something that differentiates us from the competition is that we have a lot of close relationships with creators that we've organically just built. So the content that they make is really, really engaging and doesn't really feel like an ad. And these have led to a lot of impressions and a lot of users, and it's a pretty sustainable strategy. Something else that has really been a testament to our growth is that we were recently featured on A16Z's Future of EdTech map, and it's a huge honor to be featured alongside names like Photomath and Quizlet. Simply put, we are on fire right now. In just the last month alone, we grew by 44%. Combine that with the fact that we're both technical and have a strong marketing talent, and there's no reason we're not going to hit $1 million ARR by the end of the year. At this point, it's simply a matter of adding fuel to the fire, and I'm hoping that's what we can use the VentureCat grant for if we're able to win. So yeah, thank you guys.
Imposter syndrome standing up here. Next up, from the energy and sustainability track, we have Rewear.
Hi, I'm Annika.
And I'm Colleen, and today we're presenting to you Rewear.
Your campus's shared closet that connects students looking to buy, sell, trade, or borrow their clothing and accessories on campus.
every college student, including us, wakes up in the morning and realizes they have nothing to wear. Meanwhile, they have endless themed parties, professional networking events, and other occasions that require them to either scour their friend's closet for that perfect niche item they need, or spend upwards of $35 on fast fashion websites. Even putting together a basic outfit in the morning can be a grueling process.
The average Northwestern student brings upwards of 100 items to campus each year, but only ends up wearing 15 to 25 of these per week. This means that there are $1,500 worth of underutilized assets sitting in every closet on campus. Meanwhile, there are 8,000 other students less than a mile away who might have exactly what we're looking for. The problem is, we don't know where to find these holy grail closets.
But luckily, we figured out that we could create a pretty killer business by creating shared closets for college students so that they always feel like they have something to wear.
How do we know this is going to work? Because we manually done it. We had a problem and we knew others did too, so this past fall we launched Rewear NU on Instagram.
Through our MVP Instagram account, we facilitated 80 transactions by acting as the middlewomen ourselves. We directly messaged with sellers and lenders, uploaded all of their items and its information, and then coordinated exchanges when renters and buyers reached out to us.
This account not only validated that our problem exists, but proved that our solution was effective. After facing high demand, we realized that we've outgrown our capacity to facilitate all these exchanges on campus, and we knew we needed a new solution.
That's why just a few days ago, we finished developing our website that allows users to upload images of their rewearable closets themselves, including the item's price, brand, size, and condition. With just a few clicks of a button, they're up and running.
The first step is to create an account with your university EDU email address and wait to get verified in order to post or shop.
Borrowers and buyers then have two options. They can scroll through our drop-down menus that filter items by theme, price, and brand, or simply scroll through our homepage to find the hottest new items that people have listed. They can also shop by their friends' closets so that they know the items they're getting are coming from people that they know and trust.
And the best part about Rewear is that it's hyper-localized and focused on a single college campus. Rather than waiting for other sites to ship items across the world in 1 to 3 days or even weeks, with Rewear, you can get your item in 1 to 3 hours. With this, for the next jungle-themed party, you can get your zebra print top that same day.
The exponential growth of Rewear reflects the exponential growth of the global secondhand market, which is expected to reach $70 billion by 2027. In fact, 83% of Gen Z respondents said that they had shopped secondhand before or were open to trying it. We are culturally shifting towards a more sustainable future, and we built Rewear so that we can contribute to this revolution.
Overall, if we can capture the Northwestern undergraduate population, we can generate a market value of over $1.5 million per year. However, our vision doesn't stop here, as we plan to expand nationally, starting with the Big Ten universities. If each one of these over 450,000 undergraduate students used Rewear just 12 times a year, our market value would expand to $81 million. That's $81 million passed amongst students rather than to fast fashion sites.
We generate revenue by collecting 10% of each seller's or lender's earnings, meaning that at Northwestern alone per year, we could generate over $150,000, and across the Big Ten, over $8 million.
While we're currently hyper-focused on proving the unit economic model at Northwestern, we're excited to expand to capture this market value. We're going to start with the Big Ten schools, implementing pilot programs and customizing branches of our website catered to each university. Next, we plan to recruit ambassadors to spread the word about Rewear, and with that, we can roll it out nationally.
Now, why are we here? We're in front of you today because our expansion plan will not be easy nor cheap. We plan to use your investment to fund expansion to other universities, website development, marketing initiatives, engagement events, and employee compensation. The only way we can feasibly expand is with your help.
We created Rewear for college students by college students, and our hyper-local focus provides 3 unique benefits to our customers that differentiate us from our competitors. First, we're incomparably efficient, as students can get item of clothing from others less than a mile away for those last-minute events and occasions. Next, our focus on small communities and verification processes promote safety and ensure that students are only interacting with those who they know and trust. And finally, we're able to focus on the niche demographic of college students looking to have those one-time use items and attend similar events and have similar styles.
Not only are we different, but we're making an impact. Buying one t-shirt results in the use of 2,700 liters of water, 6.75 kilograms of carbon emissions, and $20 down the drain. Versus rewearing a t-shirt means that you eliminate the use of water and carbon emissions and don't break the bank along the way.
Thank you so much for your time. We are the team that's the backbone of Rewear, and we hope that you can join us in our vision of creating a shared closet on every college campus to promote a more sustainable fashion future.
Thank you.
Great job. Next up, from the Life Sciences and Medical track is Alim Health.
Hi everyone, my name is Isaac Meite and I'm a co-founder here at Alim Health. And we're bringing digital record solutions to underserved regions across the globe. Meet Aya, a 9-year-old girl from the Ivorian village of Timé. Aya contracted HIV/AIDS due to the reuse of contaminated needles. Desperate for help, Aya and her father, Frank Kofi, traveled 500 miles to a specialized clinic in the capital city of Abidjan. Upon arriving, Frank struggled to convey Aya's medical history due to memory gaps and language barriers in a country with over 60 spoken languages. Each new doctor needed Aya's complete medical history, but accessing the single available patient record was a struggle. Every new visit, Frank had to repeat Aya's medical history, which was really difficult as it accentuated Aya's vulnerability and stress. The quality of the care that she received suffered as her medical history was lost under the amount of currently existing paper records. This issue does not just affect Aya and Frank, but 28.16 million people across all ages, genders, and backgrounds across the Ivory Coast. At the root of it, paper is the problem. Growing up between France and the Ivory Coast, I myself lived through the disparities of access to healthcare between the two countries. Falling sick in France meant I had the reassurance of having access to an efficient healthcare system. But in the Ivory Coast, I watched as my grandparents suffered through an erratic and slow healthcare system, even for routine health checkups. And these personal experiences are echoed in our primary research we conducted across the Ivory Coast. We found that 78.6% of medical workers find paper systems to be inefficient. And 85.7% of them report that there are currently no existing tools for paper to digital conversion. Enter Alim Health, a reliable, secure, and efficient state-of-the-art electronic medical record system with hospital-centered analysis. Our solution can be split into 4 categories. First, we offer data storage for hospital workers. Second, we offer data representation for doctors. Third, we offer data analysis for hospital administrators to ensure operational efficiency. And lastly, we offer predictive modeling for forecasting and prevention. Currently, the government of the Ivory Coast mandates the creation of paper records, which means that if an EHR tool were to implement themselves currently, they would have to face the barrier of double data entry, an exhausting process that requires hospital workers to both process paper records and type each detail from the paper form into the digital system, creating an inefficient and tiresome loop. Alim bypasses this barrier by using a revolutionary and custom OCR technology. Let's take a look at what it entails. Our OCR technology has 4 primary concerns. First, we need to be able to understand hierarchies within tables and other complex structures, and we'll be doing that using GoogleNet. Second, we need to be able to knit together correlated pieces of information, and for that, we'll be using vision transformers. Next, we apply diffusion models in order to fix image quality concerns. And finally, doctors need to be able to have access to cohesive data summaries, for which we use and synthesize with NLP integration.
Now, let's see how this all ties together for the user experience. Consider the perspective of a hospital worker. Alim offers a simple 3-step solution. 1, log into the Alim app. 2, scan a new patient record. And 3, either send or flag for review. Once it has been uploaded, it is viewable for doctors. So the question arises, how does our experience differ from existing systems? On the ground, there are currently no ubiquitous EMR systems in use, creating a siloed and fragmented healthcare system. As Isaac mentioned, the first hurdle that we need to tackle is the paper-to-digital conversion, which no competitor currently offers. Additionally, Alim Health, Bypass, and LaRouche Health do not offer predictive modeling, which is obviously something that's very important for analytics and the future of technology. But Alim Health presents a solution that bridges these gaps and unifies these problems, which allows us to tap into a global market. The digital market in the Ivory Coast is worth $287.5 million and is currently underserved. Across Africa, that number is $6.31 billion and growing every day. Globally, we have access to a $193.7 billion market. But notice carefully the disparities between the African market and the global market. Although Africa is home to 18% of the world's population, it only represents 3% of the global digital health sector. And that's where we think we can come in and expand this market. So how do we do that? Alpine operates primarily on a B2G model, scaling through strategic partnerships with governments. Our licensing agreements ensure that we retain proprietary access to our software, and that allows us to scale to private clinics as well. This means that we can be deployed in up to 1.34 million global health facilities in underserved nations, and we've already made significant progress. We currently have 2 strategic partnerships. The first one is with the HDA clinic in Abidjan, where we will be testing our software this summer. This serves as a symbiotic relationship where Alpine helps them achieve long-term goals, and in return, they provide us valuable feedback. Our second partnership is with the Ministry of Health under the government of the Ivory Coast. They help us ensure regulatory compliance and commercial certification. In return, we offer training workshops to government employees and hospital workers. We have also received 5 signed letters of intent from Ivorian hospitals, a testament to the already palpable interest in Alpine on the ground. We believe this is the right time to invest in the future of digital health, especially in Africa, since as of 2022, there was up to $3 billion worth of investments just in tech startups. Serving 14 million people just in the Ivory Coast, we can generate an annual revenue of $3.3 million with a gross profit margin of 51%. But let's take a closer look to the unit economics. Currently, it costs us 18 cents to store a patient record in our platform every year, and we price this at 23 cents. Now, this is under the assumption of our data storage and data analytics capabilities. But in the future, we will offer a premium service of predictive modeling, which will have an associated upcharge. Our financial model lays the foundation for our trajectory and next steps. With the $100,000 from VentureCat, we will be able to robustly test our OCR technology this summer in the private clinics we previously mentioned. Additionally, we'd also be able to patent our software this upcoming November. And we'd also be able to conduct technical development for the other layers. We're very proud of the progress we've made, and we think we're going to seize the future with digital health. And we're very thankful to our mentors who have been helping propel us in the right direction and helping us provide patients with the healthcare services that they deserve. At the end of the day, Alpine isn't just a digital ledger, it's a bridge to healthcare equity. We aren't just a tool, we're a hope for Aya. Thank you.
All right, next up is the social impact track, and we have Steady Scrib.
That sounds great. We are Steady Scrib, and we are advancing ability and independence for people with Parkinson's disease. Hi, my name is Alexis, and I'm the co-founder and chief engineer at Steady Scrib.
Hi, my name's Izzy, and I'm the co-founder and CEO at Steady Scrib. And this is Pops. Retired veterinarian, past editor-in-chief of his college newspaper, avid letter writer, and loving grandfather. Inspired by his lifelong love of writing, Pops would write weekly handwritten letters to me and all of his other grandkids. 2 years ago, this treasured tradition was cut short as Pops' Parkinson's symptoms advanced to a debilitating stage and he was robbed of his ability to write. When he shared this news with me, I took to the internet in search of a solution and was saddened to discover that despite the fact over 10 million people worldwide have Parkinson's disease, there are no existing writing solutions on the market specifically designed to serve their needs. So, in the fall of 2021, we got to work, starting with insights straight from the source. We began by studying the writing behaviors of people with Parkinson's to better understand their unique obstacles and how to tackle them. Then, we conducted over 80 stakeholder interviews and researched the quality of life innovations market and its prior art, finding a substantial gap and a clear, real need for our product.
Introducing StudyScrib, the first and only writing tool specifically designed for people with Parkinson's disease. Witness the transformative effects of StudyScrib as it allows this person with Parkinson's to write despite his Parkinson's symptoms. Our design is highly intentional, with each key feature specifically counteracting one of the 3 most writing inhibitive symptoms of Parkinson's disease. First, our magnetic pen and clipboard stabilizes tremors. Second, our weighted core facilitates intentional movements, counteracting micrographia or small and cramped writing. Finally, the wide, pliable, and triangular grip allows those with manual rigidity to hold our pen with ease and comfort. Each step in our progress has played a vital role. We've made over 50 prototypes through meticulous feedback, we've secured extensive IP protections, and collaborated with our manufacturing partner for our upcoming product launch. But most importantly, we've built deep and meaningful relationships within the communities that we serve.
Every iteration that we've made has been rooted in the feedback we've received from over 110 unique people with Parkinson's. We take their input to heart, which is why 100% of people with Parkinson's who have tried our pen set more than once have told us that our design has improved over time, and why real users like Susie have told us that StudyScrib makes writing effortless. From Parkinson's patients themselves, all the way up to leadership at Northwestern Medicine and the National Parkinson's Foundation. Everyone agrees. We are meeting a critical demand from the Parkinson's community, and most importantly, StudyScrib works. Our current closest competitor on the market is an unspecialized general aging associated solution called Galeegi. It claims to counteract against the symptoms of 8 different diseases, only one of which is Parkinson's. It's a blanket solution with mediocre functionality, and the numbers show it. In our most recent round of user testing, we worked with 26 unique individuals who have Parkinson's. And when asked to choose between StudyScrib and Galeegi, 88% of Parkinson's patients preferred StudyScrib, ranking it higher on efficacy and ease of use. And with results like these, stakeholders are ready to purchase. We've amassed an entirely grassroots waitlist of over 3,800 individuals with Parkinson's eagerly awaiting our launch. Additionally, medical institutions across the nation are champions of StudyScrib, with some even committing to buying sets as soon as we hit the market. We've also received incredible support from esteemed news organizations such as Forbes, NBC, and Parkinson's News Today.
Due to our expansive waitlist, we have outgrown the manufacturing capabilities graciously granted to us by Northwestern University. Recognizing a need for scalability, over the past 7 months, we've been working with the manufacturing company Stephen Gould for end-to-end production. Just last week, they finished the tooling needed for mass production of our pen sets. In our initial product launch, we aim to sell 5,000 units, amassing to a total revenue of $375,000. With a cost of goods sold of $11.84 and an anticipated selling price of $75, in order to break even, we only need to sell 16% of our total inventory, or 790 units. Given our waitlist of over 3,800 people, we feel confident in our ability to reach this goal. Beyond this threshold, each unit sold contributes to an impressive 84% profit margin, clearly showing economic viability. We strengthen our go-to-market pathway as we deepen our relationships within the communities that we serve. We prioritize community building, which is why we've donated hundreds of hours and dozens of pen sets to medical institutions, expanding our reach to support groups across 49 states, Canada, and Australia. On top of this, we've created an opportunity fund, allowing us to provide pen sets at no or reduced cost, advancing ability and agency for all.
Conservatively estimating, we anticipate our initial US market capture to result in a revenue of over $375,000 in just 3 months, representing a market penetration of 0.5%. Scaling up the impact of our venture in a 2-year time frame, we anticipate to capture 0.5% of the global market, resulting in a revenue of over $5.6 million. And this is just our initial product and beachhead market. With all of our IP already in place, we hope to scale our venture past the 10 million people worldwide who have Parkinson's and into the larger manual tremors market, representing a total opportunity of $111 billion. We have made incredible and rapid progress towards putting our product on the market since this venture was formed, and are excited to begin pre-sale are excited to begin pre-sales in the coming months. However, VentureCat Grand Prize would truly change the trajectory of our venture. With our manufacturing, sales, and fulfillment infrastructure already all in place, VentureCat Grand Prize would fast-track our launch past its cost-inhibitive elements, allowing us instead to launch tomorrow, and enabling us to put the pen sets into the hands of the thousands waiting.
We would like to thank our team and advisors and are committed to this venture full-time upon graduation. Our progress to date would not be possible without the generous support of the garage and the Farley Center as well.
And finally, our biggest thank you is to Pops. I feel immensely grateful he was the first person able to try the pen set created in his honor before he passed away in December of 2022. In his loving memory, we're working hard to restore a sense of joy and confidence for millions of others, one pen set at a time. Thank you.
Next up, our wild card from the B2B track is Olympus.
This one. Is this on? Awesome. Hi, my name is Scott, and I'm so excited to introduce you to Olympus, sports performance software for elite coaches to train winning athletes. Top sports organizations need data analytics to be elite. They use wearables to collect biometric data like heart rate and sleep. They track output vectors like force and velocity using integrated technology in the gym. And they work with dedicated nutritionists to track calories and macros for all of their athletes. These are high-functioning and very sophisticated organizations. Yet for some reason, many coaches still use pen and paper to track their athletes' workouts. Here's what it looks like. Coaches print physical workout cards for their 500+ athletes multiple times per week. Athletes then use pen to write in the weight, reps, and sets throughout the workout, and after, coaches spend hours manually processing this data just to do it again the next day. As you can imagine, this comes with many problems. For one, data management is an absolute nightmare. Just picture stacks of these papers piling up in folders on a coach's desk. And needless to say, data analytics are pretty much non-existent. Now I know what you must be thinking. Why not just build an app? Digitize the entire process. Well, I'll be honest, when we spoke to over 50 coaches, we pitched them the same thing at first, although we quickly learned that we were wrong. Thankfully for us, they told us exactly what they want. And after a quick scan of the market, we realized that we are the only ones listening. You see, they've already tested dozens of these apps, and they consistently tell us that nothing beats pen and paper for their specialized type of training. And remember, these coaches use tech to track every other aspect of sports performance. So it's not like they're afraid of technology or that they don't care about analytics. This insight is why we will dominate the market. While our competitors continue banging their head into a wall trying to force fit a one-size-fits-all digital solution, we're building Olympus, the first and only product that lets coaches keep the pen and paper. We provide the data management, analytics, and performance insights. And guess what? Coaches love it. We already have over $20,000 in committed contract value across 3 Division I athletic programs, shout out to Northwestern, along with a private gym that works with elite high school athletes who want to play at the next level. On top of this, we have 40 other interested customers in our pipeline. And here's the kicker. We're not launching until September, and we are asking our customers to prepay our installation fee. They want Olympus so badly that they do not even blink at this. Here's how it works. Players and coaches still print and record their workouts exactly as they do today. There's zero behavior change. Then we combine optical character recognition with our proprietary algorithms to instantly translate their handwritten workouts into digital data. And lastly, we provide the analytics to help coaches measure program effectiveness over time. And here's the best part. The more data that's added, the stickier Olympus becomes. But don't just take my word for it. This is what one of our customers said, and let me tell you, this is not the first time that we've heard this. Here's how we make money. Customers pay an upfront installation fee and then an annual subscription based on the number of athletes. We think about our beachhead market in terms of 2 segments. Sports teams, ranging from high schools to colleges to professionals, and then gyms, both commercial and private. Combined, this is a beachhead market of $300 million. We go to market by targeting colleges because their brand and credibility helps us unlock these adjacent verticals. Specifically, my buyer is the Associate Athletic Director and Head of Sports Performance at these colleges. I cannot emphasize enough how important this is that I know exactly who to target. If you give me any college in the country, within 2 minutes, I can tell you the name, email address, and phone of who I need to contact. And here's why they're a buyer. They deeply resonate with the problem that we're solving, and they instantly understand the value. And most importantly, they have budget authority. If they like it, they buy it. A little bit more on this credibility piece. Every gym that I talk to, I speak with the founder. And every single one of these founders has played college sports. So when they hear that we're already working with colleges, their eyes light up. They're using pen and paper in their athletes, and they're now using pen and paper to run their business. Further, the success of their business hinges on their ability to convince parents to pay $300 or more every month to improve the chances that their child could potentially play D1. And so if they're able to tell these parents that they're using the same tools and software that colleges are using, willingness to pay goes up. And we have strong unit economics. Although it's still early and we continue to refine pricing, we already have 8-to-1 LTV to CAC ratio. The one thing I want to highlight here is that I've already developed a proven and repeatable sales playbook. I sold Purdue Athletics in 2 30-minute meetings, a discovery call and a demo. And at the end, the coach said, "Holy cow, you just saved me 200 hours, where do I sign?" If we can execute, this is an extremely compelling business that we would be thrilled to run. But I'll let you all know, here's a little secret. This is just the tip of the spear. You see, as we scale and continue to add more and more organizations onto the Olympus platform, we are collecting millions of data points on how world-class organizations train their athletes to optimize performance and minimize the risk of injury. We're going to harness this data, and we're going to build our own sports performance programming. Remember those parents who are dishing out $300 every month so their kids can train with these coaches? Well, for the 95% of Americans who can't afford this, they will now have access to that same level of world-class training at a fraction of the cost. And for the 65 million Americans who strength train, this equates to a $4 billion opportunity. And we are all in on Olympus. We have a phenomenal team that is ready to run this business. Gautam and I have been friends for the past decade, and it's an absolute dream to build a business with one of my best friends, and we are ready to run this full time. And we have such conviction in this business, because not only have we validated how to sell, but we've run the numbers. We see a clear path to a $2 million business in just 18 months. We're raising $500,000 to kickstart this process. We're going to grow the team, become even more aggressive about customer acquisition using our proven sales playbook, and expand our customer base. Thank you all so much for the support, and I hope you all come join Team Olympus. Thank you.
All right, how about that? Great work by our 6 finalists for VentureCat 2024. So this is where you all come in. It seems like everyone's kind of got the gist based off of the phones. So if you haven't quite done that yet, now it's your time for you all to decide which team takes home $1,000 for the audience favorite award. So scan the QR code on the slide behind me. You can also visit vote.venturecat.nu to cast your vote for the audience favorite. So we'll give you a couple minutes to vote. You can only vote once, so make it count, and we'll reconvene in 2 minutes.
Okay, the votes have been tallied and are in, and I'm excited to announce that the winner of the $1,000 audience favorite is Scrib. Congrats, y'all. Oh, sorry.
All right. So we are now ready to announce the grand prizes, starting with third place and winning $25,000. The winner is Olympus.
Congrats. Almost fell off the stage there. Coming in second place and winning $50,000 is Scrib. Pose. Hold it up.
It's a good problem to have. You have too many big checks to take a picture. All right. I'm going to draw this out. Finally, the VentureCat 2024 grand prize winner taking home $100,000 is TurboLearn AI.
Congrats. Congratulations to all of the participants of VentureCat 2024. We are so proud of all of you, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you.
Yeah, an extra round of applause.
Thank you all for joining us. We hope that you all tune in for the inaugural alumni VentureCat competition that will take place in San Francisco on Friday, July 19th. So please tune in for that.
Amazing. Congrats, guys.
Thank you.